It's going down to the wire in Maharashtra. The top developments from the state. Eknath Shinde group is likely to approach the governor tomorrow seeking a floor test in Guwahati. He has met his lawyers. 40th Sena MLA is now on his way to Guwahati via Surat. We're also getting to know that this was in the works for 2 years. Shinde's son leads celebrations in Thane. BJP now claims the support of 170 MLAs. And we're also learning the BJP is going to demand the appointment of a PRO-TEM speaker. A core committee meeting of the party took place at 5. PAWAR stopped Uddhav from quitting. That's what sources are telling us, that Uddhav Thackeray tried to quit twice at least in the last 1 week, but it was Sharad Pawar who pulled him back. Those are the 10 big developments at this point, but it's a big relief that came for the Eknath Shinde camp. The Supreme Court ordered status quo on the disqualification notice that had been served to them. They were supposed to reply to it by 5:30 this evening. Now they've been granted time for 2 more weeks till the 11th of July. That means the Deputy Speaker will not be able to proceed with the disqualification process till that date. The deadline for 16 rebels to file their reply was till 5:30 in the evening. Now the interim order came after heated arguments in court. The Shinde camp argued against disqualification, saying the Deputy Speaker cannot make the decision simply because his appointment itself has now been contested. Remember, 2 rebel MLAs had moved a no-confidence motion against the Deputy Speaker before he issued these disqualification notices. The Shinde camp also cited the Nabam Rabia judgment in court. The verdict said that the Speaker must refrain from adjudicating on disqualification pleas when his own position is under challenge. Now, of course, there were arguments held from both sides, which basically they were trying to somehow get the rebel MLAs disqualified. That's what the Uddhav camp wanted. However, it is not to be.
The time to file our reply to the notice of the Deputy Speaker for our disqualification is extended till the 12th of July. Secondly, has directed and recorded the undertaking of the state government that all protection to life and liberty of these 39 MLAs as also their family members shall be extended by the state government.
Sandeep Gandotra, political analyst; Vijay Patil, political analyst; Vikram Singh Yadav, leader of Shiv Sena; Advocate Kapil Madan, political analyst; and Subhash, advocate, also with us. Advocate Kapil Madan, is it only imminent now that Uddhav Thackeray will quit, should quit, may quit?
Well, Padmaja ji, I think this is a question that can only be decided when you have a flow test. Without a flow test, it's all a speculation. Whether you have 15, 20, 25, 40, 45, that can only be adjudicated at the floor of the House.
That's fine, but do you really need for it to go to that, sir? I mean, already you've got ministers who have left Uddhav Thackeray's side and gone over. Now, I mean, the numbers are quite clear. You can either wait for a humiliation on the floor of the House or you can bow out.
Padmaja ji, when I was hearing Mr. Thackeray's statement, he still, looked confident. You never know. We saw in what happened in Maharashtra when Devendra Fadnavis took an oath at 5 a.m. in the morning, and what happened thereafter, we all know. So let's wait. Let's wait. You are absolutely clear that there cannot be any smoke without the fire. Of course, yes, there is a dissent by rebel MLAs, but whether the rebel MLAs have the required numbers.
You think that Uddhav Thackeray still has the numbers?
Why would I think? I think this is something which needs to be decided at the floor of the House.
Sandeep Gandotra.
There is some trouble. Whether he will cross the line, whether he will not be able to cross the line.
Sandeep Gandotra.
I guess my friend is missing the point. Uddhav Thackeray and Sanjay Raut said themselves that they don't have the number and they just have 14 MLA with them. So where is the question of floor of the test? Yes, everything goes to the floor of the test. If everything goes to the floor of the test, why there was violence in Mumbai a couple of days back, even yesterday? Why they have been threatening all the 40, yesterday only Sanjay Raut said that 40 bodies will come to assembly and all that. Why did he took the number if he had the numbers? So clearly, and today even Supreme Court gave them the time because they are on the right side. Shinde group is on the right side. Yes, it will go on floor of the House. They are going to governor. As I just heard over this news bulletin only.
Kapil Madan.
Going to the
let me just give one small explanation. It's a legal explanation. What happened in the Supreme Court was the petition was never for the flow test. The petition was against
for the disqualification
notice. Yes, that is correct.
But the Supreme Court has stayed that. The whole idea was to carry out a disqualification by today evening, but the Supreme Court has put a stay on that for 2 weeks.
No, it is not stayed. Let me tell you what has happened.
It hasn't stayed. Let me ask Subhash. Subhash, has the Supreme Court not stayed it for 2 weeks till the 11th of July? Sir, okay, so I'm speaking, completely off the top of my head, but to a lay person it seems that if you're supposed to reply to a show cause notice by 5:30 today evening and you do not reply, action is going to be taken against you. That's what a lay person thinks. But Subhash, do you think that it's a setback and for 2 weeks now any disqualification proceedings have been kept on hold? Mr. Jha, you've muted yourself. Can you please unmute?
Padmaja, that is exactly the order of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court says that meanwhile, as in list this for consideration on 11/7/2022, meanwhile, as an interim measure, the time granted by the Deputy Speaker of the Assembly to the petitioners or others similarly placed members of the Legislative Assembly to submit the written submissions up to today, that is by 5:30 p.m., is extended till 12/7/2022. Now, which would mean that there shall not be any disqualification on the ground of their not responding. These 34 MLAs not responding, there shall not be any disqualification.
Okay, so there will be no disqualification. Vikram Singh Yadav, which means कि जो 40 MLA हैं, उनको आप disqualify भी नहीं कर सकते. अब floor test होगा, आपके पास नंबर नहीं होंगे. इधर 19 है, उधर 40 है. कहाँ से प्रूव करेंगे?
नहीं पदम जी, देखो हम तो कह ही रहे हैं कि हमारे पास नंबर है. अगर उनके पास है तो आइए, उनको हम तो बोल ही रहे हैं कि फ्लोर टेस्ट पे आप सिद्ध करिए आकर के.
आपके पास कौन से नंबर
नहीं है?
कौन है वो लोग जो आपके साथ
तो आते हो? देखिए, अच्छा आप मुझे ये बताइए कि उनके पास कौन से हैं? अगर वो होते तो आते ना, उनको कौन रोक रहा है?
चलिए आपको तस्वीरें दिखा देते हैं भाई, जहाँ पे रोज होटल से तस्वीरें आ रही हैं, कम से कम 40-41 तो लोग वहीं पे दिख रहे हैं. विजय पाटिल, मतलब अब उसमें बोलने वाली क्या बात है? वो तो तस्वीरों में आदमी दिख ही रहे हैं. कभी वो बर्थडे केक काट रहे हैं, कभी वो साथ में खड़े होकर दिखा रहे हैं, कभी कोई जा रहा है, कभी कोई जा रहा है. कल उदय सामंत चले गए.
देखिए हमारे विधायक कहीं पे भी रहे, लेकिन वो है तो हमारे,
नहीं है तो हमारे आपके ही होंगे सर, बट वो तो किसी और के लिए दे रहे हैं ना. अभी
ऐसा था,
है तो आपके, बट बैठे शिंदे जी के साथ है विजय पाटिल.
नहीं तो अगर उनको ऐसा नहीं.
Padmaja ji, Honorable Supreme Court today, inter alia, while granting interim relief to Eknath Shinde camp, has acknowledged a very important point about the law and order situation in Maharashtra, that there is a perceptible threat to life, liberty and property of the rebel MLAs and their families, and the state is duty bound to protect them. Now, and also interestingly, the Supreme Court has asked the Council of Maharashtra government to put this on record. This comes as a big blow to the top leaders of Uddhav Thackeray camp, who are openly threatening the MLAs with dire consequences once they return to Mumbai. I believe that Uddhav Thackeray said should personally intervene and issue clear directives to some of these leaders who are making such irresponsible statements which have no place in a healthy democracy.
विक्रम सिंह, जो लोग कह रहे थे कि वहां पे 40 शव वापस आएंगे, उनको सबसे ज्यादा झटका लगा आज कोर्ट से.
देखिए जब आदमी की वो कहते हैं कि आत्मा जब मर जाती है तो उसको उस संदर्भ में जब जैसे आदमी को कह देते हैं कि भाई आदमी जिंदा लाश है, ये एक उस संदर्भ में कही गई बात थी. बाकी अगर इतना होता तो सबको सिक्योरिटी, देखिए 17 लोगों को सिक्योरिटी क्यों थी?
संदीप गंडोत्रा, ये सिर्फ आदमी की रूह मर जाने वाली बात थी, ये कोई फिजिकल थ्रेट नहीं थी.
नो फिजिकल थ्रेट था ना. व्हेन one MLA's house was attacked, when couple of MLA's office was attacked, when
देखिए फिजिकल थ्रेट ये था कि किस प्रकार.
सुनिए यादव जी, आप बोल रहे थे, मैं चुप रहा, आप भी सुन लीजिए. देखिए, अगर किसी के ऑफिस को आप तोड़ेंगे, किसी MLA के, किसी की फैमिली को थ्रेट करेंगे, किसी की गाड़ी को तोड़ेंगे, वो कैसे आ जाएंगे जब तक उनको प्रोटेक्शन नहीं मिलेगी? और सडनली जब उन्होंने रेबल किया, उन 40 के 40 MLA की आपने पुलिस सिक्योरिटी हटा ली, उनकी फैमिली की पुलिस सिक्योरिटी हटा ली, और आप कह रहे हैं फ्लोर ऑफ द हाउस आए. फ्लोर ऑफ द हाउस तो वो तब आएंगे ना जब उनको सिक्योरिटी का मिलेगा. सिक्योरिटी है आप
नहीं, और आप विवेक मरने की बात कर रहे हैं या रूह मरने की बात कर रहे हैं, तो फिर सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने क्यों कहा महाराष्ट्र गवर्नमेंट से कि सिक्योरिटी दीजिए?
पद्मजा जी, इतना सब
पहले इनका जवाब दे दूं. देखिए, गृह मंत्री जी ने स्पष्ट कर दिया था कि
कपिल मदान आप रिस्पॉन्ड कीजिएगा, पहले विक्रम जी को बोलने दीजिए.
ये लोग जिस प्रकार से किडनैप करके मैं दोबारा बोलता हूं गृह मंत्री जी ने बाकायदा स्पष्ट कर दिया था कि किसी की सिक्योरिटी नहीं हटाई गई है। और देखिए जिस प्रकार से ये लोग कर रहे थे, किस प्रकार से विधायकों को जोर जबरदस्ती इन्होंने किडनैप करके रखा, विधायकों के साथ मारपीट करी, एक विधायक को किस प्रकार से जोर जबरदस्ती करके हॉस्पिटल में डाला, उनको पता नहीं कौन सा ये इंजेक्शन लगा रहे थे, हालांकि उन्होंने तो यहां तक कहा कि मेरी जान भी ले लेते। तो वो था एक प्रैक्टिकली जो ये एक्शन ये लोग कर रहे थे।
हाँ।
तो उस चीज के लिए नहीं बात कर रहे कोई भी।
विजय पाटिल।
पद्मजा जी जो ये जो सर कह रहे हैं, मैं उनसे पूछना चाहूंगा, आज सुप्रीम कोर्ट में इतनी फटकार मिलने के बावजूद भी आज गोंदिया में इंडिपेंडेंट एमएलए विनोद अग्रवाल, जिन्होंने ये मोशन ऑफ नो कॉन्फिडेंस मूव किया था, आज भी गोंदिया में उनके ऑफिस पे अटैक किया गया। तो ऐसे हालात में कैसे वो एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं कि वो जो रिबेल एमएलए वो महाराष्ट्र में आएंगे और वो सेफ रहेंगे एंड दे कैन पार्टिसिपेट इन द प्रोसीडिंग्स ऑफ
आंसर Kapil Madan, you're talking about, the Home Minister no less, Dilip Walse Patil today said that everyone is safe, nobody is in danger. This despite the fact that there are people on camera who are vandalizing his house.
So let me first respond to the gentleman here who was saying that there is a law and order issue. And the Supreme Court has recommended. Let me read the observation of the Supreme Court's order, and I will read out the operating part only. It says, Mr. Chitnis, the council appearing for the state of Maharashtra states that adequate steps have already been taken, and the state government shall further ensure that no harm is caused to the lives, liberty, and properties of 39 MLAs and their families. So to say that the Supreme Court issued any kind of whip or any kind of adverse remark against the government, that is incorrect. That does not borne out from the record. So, sir, allow me to make my point. I am reading the order. You can rebut. If you have some other order, you can read and rebut. I am reading the official order as uploaded by the Honorable Supreme Court's website. And I would also say that any kind of provocative statements, any kind of statement that encourages any kind of violence, I mean, that should not have any kind of place in democracy. Ultimately, we need to ensure
that is very touching, sir, because I think it has gone beyond provocative statements now. It has gone to actual vandalizing of people's houses and their offices, which is why they are now writing letters and they have gone to the court saying, we want security. Can you please weigh in on that, Subhash? What does today's instruction of the Supreme Court asking the Maharashtra government to provide security, how should one read it?
Padmaja, to be very frank with you, if somebody seeks my advice, I would be advising that the order of the Supreme Court, so far as the recording statement of the public prosecutor representing the state of Maharashtra in Supreme Court, it will not suffice the kind of situation with which we are faced with. My advice would be to move the Supreme Court again by way of an interim application and seek further clarification that how the security will be provided. Please try to appreciate the situation which is prevalent in the state today. Unless and until there is a security, and the security, how the security is to be provided, there has to be a mechanism evolved. Otherwise, these people will not be in a position to possibly enter the Vidhan Sabha or to have the floor test. True. So, and unless and until that happens, and that has to be absolutely watertight order, ensuring, see, merely the public prosecutor making a statement that everything is fine, all care will be taken. No. Possibly there should be direction to the DGP or Director General of Police of the state of Maharashtra, directing him to ensure that adequate police protection, or maybe the central agency must be called upon in the aid of these MLAs who should fearlessly be able to enter Maharashtra, enter the assembly and vote and have a floor test.
विक्रम जी, ये बताइए, यहाँ पे ये डर जताया जा रहा है कि एक्चुअली ये तो सिर्फ झांकी है, ये एक मैसेज है सारे MLAs जो कि गुवाहाटी में बैठे हैं उनको कि तुम मुंबई आके दिखाओ और वोट करके दिखाओ हमारे खिलाफ, और फिर आप कहते हो कि नहीं मुंबई आओ वोट करो, कैसे आ जाएंगे?
लोग कर रहे हैं कुछ गड़बड़ी है। नहीं पद्मा जी, ये तो गड़बड़ कर रही है इन्हीं के लोग हैं। अगर इनके लोग नहीं है तो आप बताइए मुझे कि 17 लोगों के लिए सिक्योरिटी क्यों मांगी? अगर इनको सबको डर है तो 17 के लिए सिक्योरिटी क्यों मांगी फिर?
मतलब ये तो बहुत ही ज्यादा श्रूड लोग हैं संदीप गंडोत्रा जो अपने घरों को ही तोड़ रहे हैं।
नहीं पद्मजा, दे हैव नॉट आस्क्ड,
क्योंकि इनके पीछे बीजेपी है और बीजेपी ये सारा
सिक्योरिटी। यादव जी, शिंदे कैंप ने सारे एमएलएस के लिए मांगी है सिक्योरिटी, 17 के लिए नहीं मांगी, पहली चीज। दूसरा, व्हेन यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट इन्होंने अपने घर खुद तोड़वाए, ऐसा कोई बेवकूफ नहीं होता जो अपने घर को खुद तोड़वाए, क्योंकि आप सुन लीजिए, संजय राउत जी आपके नेता हैं, संजय राउत जी ने तो ऑन रिकॉर्ड कहा है कि लोग आएंगे सड़कों पे करेंगे ये सब। और उसके बाद आप संजय राउत जी का ये भी कल का बयान भी सुन लीजिए, कौन नहीं आया। और पुलिस वहां खड़ी हुई थी, पुलिस अभी तो आपकी सरकार के अंडर है, जब वो तोड़फोड़ कर रहे थे पुलिस वालों ने तो डंडा तक नहीं हिलाया, कोने पे खड़े हो गए, आओ तोड़ो। जब पुलिस आपकी है, आप तो कह रहे हैं आपके पास नंबर है, सारे नंबर है, शिंदे कैंप के पास नंबर नहीं है, तो अगर नंबर नहीं है तो पुलिस
नहीं, तो नहीं
याद ये लोग बीजेपी के लोग हैं, लेकिन थ्रेट देने वाले लोग तो आपके हैं ना, क्या
पुलिस बुलाई क्यों नहीं उन्होंने पुलिस बुलाई नहीं।
चलिए, संजय राउत वहां पर कह रहे हैं कब तक बैठोगे, गुवाहाटी में आना पड़ेगा चौपाटी में, पर लोग खुद की तोड़फोड़ कर रहे हैं। लेट्स क्विकली कट अक्रॉस टू गोवंडी because that is where we are expecting the Shiv Sena rally to begin in just a while from now. It's expected to have a massive turnout because the message being sent out is clear. Over to you, Shivani.
Handy. Right now we are present in Guwahati where the event is going on of Shiv Sainiks to bring the support before the Sena, and also there on the stage we are moving here. Video journalist Yanti will be showing you that there are several people from this local shakha of Shiv Sena those are standing in and are speaking in the support of Uddhav Thackeray, but simultaneously a huge crowd, a huge supporting crowd of Shiv Sena has gathered out in this particular banquet. Earlier they had also said they are going to be prominent faces from the party. Those will be addressing the Shiv Sainiks out here. There are several prominent supporters. Those have also gathered. In fact, the posters those are put out the support of Aditya Thackeray. In fact, we were given the information that Aditya Thackeray might just come and join them through video conferencing, but that is expectedly not really happening. But of course, sloganing still taking place where they are saying, Uddhav Thackeray sahab, aap aage badho, hum tumhare saath hain. But definitely somewhere we can say not a single prominent face from Shiv Sena has joined the stage. Clearly showcases that how disinterested the party is still at this moment of time to save their own guards, to save their own pillars, because not Aditya Thackeray and neither any of the other prominent leader has come to this particular place. Earlier we had got notified for this particular event that there is going to be a massive rally. Thousands of hundreds and lakhs of people will gather, but that clearly doesn't seem to be that significant prompt rally the way it got outraged in Thane area where Eknath Shinde has his own cadre. There several Shindekar supported him there. They all came on the roads. Posters were painted over there, placed over there. But here in Mumbai right now in Govandi, of course the sound is also not that high. Of course we clearly seen that there is some lack of attention from the prominent faces from the top leaders of Shiv Sena for this particular event, where they said that this is going to be Shakti Pradarshan. This is going to be a particular power showcase of Shiv Sena. But yes, hence it also puts a question for all of us that is this the only power of Shiv Sena? Let me ask Vijay Patil to show you the visuals again. That there are the people, those are chanting here for the Shiv Sena, those are chanting in favor of Uddhav Thackeray, but clearly understanding the crowd also doesn't seem that cheering up. But yes, of course, we are still expecting a lot of
Shivani, what do these cadre over here make of the Supreme Court not willing to give a respite to Uddhav Thackeray's camp today?
Well, definitely here, as we see that Supreme Court has given 14 days of time to file reply before, the Deputy Speaker, and that's why we understand only they were expecting 7 days, but they have been given 14 days. A big setback for the party Shiv Sena, and that is why, some low town can clearly be visible. And of course, this clearly showcases that how Shiv Sena was expecting some positive note to come out from Supreme Court. That has not really happened, and that is why it is transpiring in this particular event that it was said to be one of the biggest events, but it is not really seemed to have one.
Yeah, let's hear them, Shivani.
आज मी सर्वांची दिलगिरी व्यक्त करतो आमच्या विभागाच्या वतीने की आम्हाला योग्य जागा मिळाली नाही. अंगण लॉन पण ते रिपेअरिंगला केलंय, दुसरे लॉन आम्ही पडताळले, त्यातून ही 1000-1200ची व्यवस्था केली.
कारण ते स्वतःला बंडखोर मानत नसून ते शुद्ध 24 कॅरेटच्या शिवसेनेचे आम्ही आमदार आहोत असं सांगताय. तुम्ही मग प्रश्न करताय ते बंडखोर. आता बंडखोर कोण, की संजय राऊतांच्या शब्दामध्ये बंडखोर नॉटी कोण, हे तर येणारा काळ. आणि म्हणून यावर मी कोणत्याही शिवसेनेच्या आमदारांना बंडखोर समजत नाही. याचा निर्णय भारतीय जनता पार्टीचा आमदार म्हणून मी करणार नाही. पण शिवसेना आणि त्याचं बहुमत यांनी आतापर्यंत आम्हाला कोणताही प्रस्ताव दिलेला नाही. शिवसेनेकडून जेव्हा प्रस्ताव येईल आणि म्हणून बंडखोर आमदारांच्या प्रस्तावाशी भारतीय जनता पार्टीला काहीही देणं घेणं नाही. शिवसेना जर ते मूळ स्वतःची मांडताय तर शिवसेनेकडून काही प्रस्ताव आला तर पुन्हा कोर्टीम बसेल.
To the force from the Shiv Sena, then we will take a look at it then.
शिवसेना के ग्रुप लीडर, शिवसेना के गट नेता श्री एकनाथ शिंदे जी की ओर से हमें कोई प्रस्ताव आया नहीं है.
प्रोटेस्ट की मागणी तुम्ही करता का? क्या उन्हें बागी मानते जसं संजय राऊत तुम्ही बागी कह रहे हैं. विधानसभा असेल दोन्ही वेळा सरकार अल्पमतात सिद्ध झालं. आता तुम्ही प्रोटेस्टची मागणी करता का? एवढा मोठा गट बाहेर गेलाय, तुम्ही विरोधी पक्षात आहात, मोठा आकडा तुमच्याकडे, तुम्ही स्वतः प्रोटेस्टची मागणी करणार आहेत की नाही?
मी पुन्हा आपल्याला सांगतोय की कोर्टाने दिलेल्या निकालाच्या संदर्भात कोर टीममध्ये चर्चा झाली आणि या चर्चेनंतर अजून वेट अँड वॉचची भूमिका घेण्याचा निर्णय झाला आहे.
Depending on what transpired in court today and the result that came out of the hearing, we have decided that our wait and watch strategy will continue.
यानंतर येणाऱ्या प्रत्येक घटनेनंतर आमच्या भूमिकेमध्ये चर्चा होईल, मंथन होईल, संवाद होईल आणि त्या
संवादात take place between the Sena camps, the BJP core committee will meet and take a decision as and when things play out.
आज या बैठकीमध्ये मंथन झाला. शिवसेनेचे गटनेते श्री एकनाथ शिंदेजी यांनी आतापर्यंत कोणताही प्रस्ताव दिलेला नाही.
Today it was decided that until we are approached, we will not make a move. For now, the leader of the Shiv Sena, which is Eknath Shinde, has not approached us with any proposal.
संविधान में पार्टी में जिस और बहुमत होता है, मूल पार्टी के वो नेता होते हैं. यहाँ पे जब हम देखते हैं 2/3 2/3 मेजॉरिटी विधायक अगर एकनाथ शिंदे जी के पास है, हम उन्हें बागी कैसा कहेंगे? आज भी उनकी ओर से ये कहा जा रहा है कि शिवसेना के मूल जो विचार हिंदुत्व का है, हम आज भी इस हिंदुत्व के विचार के साथ है. वो कह रहे हैं कि जो भगवा हमने हाथ में लिया है वो भय रहित, गर्व रहित, वासना रहित, यह हमारी मूल कल्पना है. तो अगर वो वासना रहित कह रहे हैं, इसका मतलब भगवा उन्होंने अपने हाथ में पकड़ा है, वो खुर्ची की वासना नहीं करते, ये उसका अर्थ होता है. तो हमने उसे बागी या बंडखोर कहना ये मैं उचित नहीं समझता. मैं आपसे बार बार कह रहा हूं कि संजय राउत जी जो कहते हैं उसे मैं इसलिए गंभीरता से नहीं लेता. और आपको भी मेरी सगा है, पाप करने से कोरोना होता है, क्या सही है क्या? अगर ऐसा है तो उद्धव जी को कोरोना हुआ, इसका अर्थ क्या पकड़ना? डॉक्टर से कंपाउंडर बड़े हैं. इधर हम अपने बजट में कहते हैं कि मेडिकल कॉलेज निकालेंगे और राउत साहब कहते हैं कि कंपाउंडर के कॉलेज निकालना चाहिए. तो सही है क्या? तो हमने इस बात को गंभीरता से नहीं लेना चाहिए. आप मेरे प्रेम में
शिवसेनेचा प्रस्ताव तुमच्याकडे आलेला आहे का? एकनाथ शिंदे सोबत तुमचं काही बोलणं झालेलं आहे का? एकनाथ शिंदे
मी पुन्हा आपल्याला सांगतो आहे, कोणत्याही गटाची आमची कोणतीही चर्चा झालेली नाही. आम्ही वेट अँड वॉचच्या भूमिकेत आहोत आणि आम्हाला विश्वास आहे की येणाऱ्या दैनंदिन घडामोडीनंतर भारतीय जनता पार्टी योग्य निर्णयापर्यंत पोहोचण्याच्या दृष्टीने चर्चा करेल.
All right. right, that was the BJP. Soon after that meeting got over, remember there was a key meeting which took place at the house of Devendra Fadnavis. The top leaders of the party went. That was Sudhir Mugantiwar saying that for us, the Eknath Shinde Sena is the real Shiv Sena. We recognize them as the real Shiv Sena. However, we are not backing them as of yet. Taking a very, very quick break, but that meeting of the Shiv Sena at Govandi is just beginning. Will Uddhav and Aditya Thackeray make a strong statement of intent? Stay tuned.